hot mess that they air in the mornings called The View had to issue not one, not two, not three, but four corrections, legal corrections, four legal notes. We only have three of them on camera, but look at this. Let's imagine what they did at that debate, where once again, they tried to fact check only one side. And then when their fact checks got fact checked, they cowered. They cowered in fear. I mean, this is a pattern with them.
And by the way, out there, that hat that you keep wearing, that red hat that says "Make America Great Again," that tells people that you go along with this. So you might as well just put a swastika on the hat.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Because we see it anyway.
I'm not going to defend Donald Trump ever, but I would never say that we should put the swastika on the cap, because I think you can hate Donald Trump. You can't hate everybody who likes him. It's half the country. I don't want to live in that country. I don't want to live in the country where I hate half the country, and I don't hate half the country.
Okay, here's the inside scoop. And believe me, it's a big one. The hosts of The View were recently caught in a fiery exchange with Maher and Megyn Kelly, and the drama was intense.
Disgusting. She's Anna Navarro. In your wildest imagination, you could never solo host a show. You will only ever make it as part of an ensemble, and you could never hope to achieve the success that Tucker Carlson has. So you can sit in your little cheap seats all day long and enjoy your little negative henpecking, but your careers are going nowhere, and Tucker is about to dominate in whatever space he goes to. Hot mess that they air in the mornings called The View had to issue not one, not two, not three, but four corrections, legal corrections, four legal notes. We only have three of them on camera, but look at this.
I have another legal note.
My God.
Both Trump and Pam Bondi have denied allegations of a quid pro quo. I have a legal note.
You want to take this one, Joy, or are you
Matt
good?
Gaetz has long denied all allegations and has not been charged with any crime.
I get it. What was supposed to be a polished segment, showcasing liberal viewpoints, quickly turned into a verbal free-for-all. It kicked off with Maher, well known for his sharp tongue and bold commentary, calling out the panelists for their perceived hypocrisy. A heated exchange followed. But, truth be told, Maher had only started peeling back the layers. Then came Megyn Kelly. She doesn't sugarcoat her words. With sharp insight, she stood out, pulling back the curtain on The View's often shaky reasoning as the tension mounted.
I talk about Whoopi Goldberg because I got so many texts this week because she attacked me the week before. Sure. So she was, everybody was like, "Oh, Bill, I get you're enjoying the karma." First of all, I'm going to talk about this at the end of my show next week, teaser. But there is no fucking thing as karma, okay? Get over that. Whoopi attacks me on a regular basis. She says stupid shit on a regular basis. They just happen to coincide.
Now, let's talk about Whoopi Goldberg. I received tons of messages last week after she went after me yet again. People kept saying, "Bill, you must be loving the karma." First of all, teaser alert. I'll dive into this more at the end of my show next week. But let me say this. Karma doesn't exist, all right? Let's drop that. Whoopi regularly targets me. She frequently says bizarre things. This time just happened to get noticed more. Honestly, it felt like watching experienced fighters take on amateurs. Megyn playing strategic chess while the host struggled with checkers. This wasn't just another panel argument. It was a takedown. It exposed how shaky the mainstream narrative can be when challenged with sharp logic and biting humor. So if you're into raw, honest analysis, and seriously, who isn't these days, hit that subscribe button. Go on, I'll wait. All set? Welcome aboard. Let's dive back in. Picking up where we left off, Maher kicked off the fireworks by going after Joy Behar. She's known for her plain takes, but Maher wasn't having any of it. He tore through her ideas with precision, exposing the surface-level arguments she often leans on. It was like watching someone expertly dismantle, weak structure, one calculated strike at a time.
I'm old enough to remember when it was the conservatives who hated the Jews.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bill Maher, who has been the standard bearer for liberalism and in many ways leftism until the woke went bananas in this last decade, but for decades, that's what this guy has represented in America. I want you to note the tone they all talk with him. I want you to look at Sunny Hostin's body language and the way they look at him and everything else. Just because he is a lefty who hasn't gone completely bananas, here they are talking.
Maher targeted her predictability, calling her out for recycling the same talking points and never stepping outside her ideological comfort zone. Her reaction? let's just say she looked more shaken than ready to respond.
Let's talk about what the ladies on The View are saying. It's somewhat stomach-turning, but we have a clip. Let's watch.
Word has just come down that Fox News Media and Tucker Carlson have agreed to part ways. Wave.
They're disgusting. She's Anna Navarro. In your wildest imagination, you could never solo host a show. You will only ever make it as part of an ensemble, and you could never hope to achieve the success that Tucker Carlson has. So you can sit in your little cheap seats all day long and enjoy your little negative henpecking, but your careers are going nowhere, and Tucker is about to dominate in whatever space he goes to.
With Joy reeling, Maher turned his attention to Whoopi Goldberg. Oh, Whoopi, the show's moral compass, or so she tries to be. But Maher didn't let her escape scrutiny. He questioned her tone of expertise, pointing out how she often defaults to overused tropes and shallow stereotypes. He likened her to that. One person at dinner who brags about past wins, but repeats the same worn-out stories when asked about current ideas.
Came out and said she's about as pro-choice as they come. And here was the reaction on The View.
I think she hates him.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay, so we can all
That's a
agree on
given.
that. That's a given. I also think that she wants to take him out. She does not want to be the first lady anymore.
Would you look? This is a network that still runs out fact checks to these women, like it's concerned about them staying factual. She hates Trump. She doesn't want to be near him. She doesn't want to be president again. She destroyed the Rose Garden, and she hates Christmas. That is what passes for news on a network they did a presidential debate.
Just when the host thought it couldn't get worse, Megyn Kelly stepped in. Her approach was different, but just as forceful. Known for her methodical breakdowns, she didn't rely on Maher's sarcasm. Instead, she came armed with logic. First on her list was Sunny Hostin, whose views she dismantled with surgical accuracy. Sunny tried to respond, but Kelly had already shifted gears and gone after Anna Navarro. Anna, often leaning into political correctness, was now being held accountable for her inconsistencies. Kelly wasted no time highlighting the gap between Navarro's self-righteous tone and her often contradictory positions. And let's face it, Kelly was not holding back.
Will be sworn in as the 47th president of the United States, yay, on January 20th of this month. Not everyone's happy about it, and many people would like us to be more focused on the insurrection that he personally unleashed. If you ask them, as we discussed earlier, they think it's as bad as like the Holocaust, and you don't have to take my word for it. Here is Sunny Hostin of
January
The View
6th was an
today.
atrocity. It was one of the worst moments in American history. And when you think about the worst moments in American history, like World War II, things that happened, like the Holocaust, chattel slavery.
Yeah, the January 6th is right up there next to the Holocaust. And
She exposed Anna's contradictions, pressing her on how her actions didn't match her lofty rhetoric. Navarro looked shaken, struggling to hold her ground. The whole scene was like a political battleground. Maher and Kelly were dodging, countering, and striking with precision, while the host tried desperately to keep up. The exchange became a high-stakes verbal brawl. And then we returned to Whoopi, who seemed stuck in a loop of moral preaching. But Maher was ready. His critiques weren't just jokes. They were calculated, designed to unravel her arguments from the inside. The most telling moment came when woke culture was brought up. Maher's perspective on its misuse by both political sides clashed hard with Whoopi's standard narrative. You could feel the tension. A showdown straight out of a Western Maher exposed how the media often promotes hollow morality that crumbles under real scrutiny, leaving Joy visibly uneasy as he cut through her usual talking points. As tensions rose, Kelly stepped in, calmly addressing The View's reaction to Tucker Carlson's exit and calling out Anna Navarro's evasions. When Melania Trump came up, Kelly dismantled the host's baseless assumptions, showing how they favor outrage over substance. She also picked apart their legal disclaimers, exposing weak arguments. What followed was more than a debate. It was a takedown. Maher's biting humor and Kelly's sharp logic revealed the cracks in The View's claim to open dialogue, proving that even the loudest voices can falter when challenged by unfiltered truth. So, what do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments section below. And if you don't want to miss out on the hottest celebrity news, make sure to subscribe to Daily Finder.